While Western nations rush to defend Israel in international forums, the world's second-largest economy sits conspicuously silent. When the UN Security Council votes on Middle East resolutions, China's position often leaves Western diplomats scrambling. This isn't just diplomatic neutrality, it's a calculated strategy decades in the making. China and Israel maintain a fascinating paradox. They're major trading partners with billions in annual exchanges, yet Beijing consistently votes against Israeli interests at the UN. Chinese firms build infrastructure in Tel Aviv while simultaneously investing heavily in Iran, Israel's arch nemesis. To understand China's position today, we need to travel back to 1950. While Israel was among the first nations to recognize the People's Republic of China, Beijing didn't reciprocate with diplomatic relations until 1992, a staggering 42-year delay. During the Cold War, China positioned itself as the champion of colonized and developing nations. Mao Zedong explicitly framed the Palestinian cause as an anti-colonial struggle, declaring in 1965, "The Palestinian people's struggle against US-Israeli aggression is part of the struggle of all oppressed peoples." China and Palestine shared, in official rhetoric, a revolutionary kinship, one forged in the fires of anti-colonial struggle and crystallized by Beijing's consistent refusal to accept UN peace plans that did not recognize full Palestinian independence. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, Beijing stood almost alone among global powers in providing open support, both material and diplomatic, to the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO, and its armed struggle. The Chinese government extended training, money, and rhetorical backing, cementing a sense of shared destiny with both the Palestinian and broader Arab cause. Now let's talk about what really drives modern geopolitics: energy. China imports over 70% of its oil, and here's the crucial detail. Approximately 40% comes from the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, and the UAE collectively supply the lifeblood of China's industrial economy. Can Beijing afford to alienate these suppliers by openly supporting Israel? In 2023, China imported 2.5 million barrels per day from Saudi Arabia alone. Iran, despite international sanctions, supplies China with discounted oil worth billions annually. This energy relationship isn't just about commerce. It's about survival for a nation of 1.4 billion people with massive industrial needs. When tensions spike between Israel and Iran, oil prices surge globally. China, as the world's largest oil importer, feels this acutely. Supporting Israel would mean potentially jeopardizing relationships with suppliers who control China's economic stability. It's a risk Beijing simply cannot take. China's massive infrastructure project, the Belt and Road Initiative, requires stable relationships across the Middle East. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, valued at $62 billion, passes through regions where anti-Israeli sentiment runs deep. The Maritime Silk Road needs cooperation from ports in Iran, Pakistan, and Arab nations. Openly supporting Israel would complicate, if not derail, these trillion-dollar ambitions. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation represents 57 Muslim nations. When China supports Palestinian positions at the UN, it earns political capital with these countries. This support often translates into silence or even approval regarding Xinjiang policies. It's a diplomatic quid pro quo at its finest. Pakistan, China's all-weather friend, exemplifies this dynamic. Despite being an Islamic republic, Pakistan has consistently defended China's Xinjiang policies, while China reciprocates by supporting Pakistani positions on Kashmir and maintaining strong anti-Israel rhetoric when needed. China's One China policy regarding Taiwan creates an interesting parallel with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Beijing cannot support Israel's territorial claims while simultaneously insisting on its own sovereignty over Taiwan. The principle of territorial integrity cuts both ways. From China's perspective, if it accepts Israel's annexation of territories captured in 1967, what prevents other nations from recognizing Taiwan's independence? This isn't hypothetical. Chinese diplomats have explicitly linked these issues in international forums. The comparison goes deeper. Both Taiwan and Palestine seek international recognition as independent states. China blocks Taiwan at every turn while championing Palestine. The Arab League represents 22 nations with a combined GDP exceeding $2.8 trillion. Israel's GDP? Approximately $480 billion. For China, the mathematical choice is clear. Chinese construction giants like China State Construction Engineering Corporation have projects worth hundreds of billions across the Arab world. From Egypt's new administrative capital to Saudi Arabia's NEOM city, Chinese firms are building the future of the Middle East. These contracts would evaporate overnight if China openly supported Israel. Perhaps no factor influences China's Israel policy more than the United States. Israel represents America's strongest Middle East ally, receiving $3.8 billion annually in military aid or even more. For China, opposing Israel means challenging American hegemony by proxy. Chinese strategic documents describe a multipolar world where American influence diminishes. Supporting Palestinian causes allows China to position itself as an alternative to US leadership without confrontation. The technology angle adds another layer. Israel shares advanced military technology with the United States, including missile defense systems and cybersecurity tools. China views this partnership as part of the American containment strategy. Supporting Israel would mean strengthening a key component of US regional power. Looking ahead, China's position on Israel shows no signs of shifting. If anything, the growing US-China rivalry will likely deepen Beijing's opposition to Israeli positions. As America doubles down on its Israeli alliance, China will increasingly champion Palestinian causes to differentiate itself. Yet, for all its grandstanding, China's ability to directly influence Israel or bring tangible change in the Middle East remains limited. The region is shaped by long-standing American partnerships, and Israel's economic ties with China are increasingly scrutinized and restricted by US-led technology controls and investment screening. Beijing's posture, while useful for burnishing its image among Arab states and the global South, leaves it sidelined as crises escalate, unable to exert hard power leverage, and often forced to watch from afar as violence unfolds. Israeli leaders understand that Beijing's neutrality hides clear sympathy for their enemies. Yet they also know that China is too powerful to ignore. That is why, despite the political tension, Israel still welcomes Chinese investment and students, while hoping to avoid becoming a pawn in the US-China rivalry. In the end, China's stance is neither simply anti-Israel nor wholly pro-Palestinian. It is a uniquely Chinese posture, shaped by history, calculated for present advantage, and designed to project a new kind of global identity, with real-world consequences playing out on the world stage every day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.